24.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Right now, our KCBD team is following multiple races within the community as the primary election results come in.
34,091 voters in Lubbock County cast their ballot in this election. That's 18% of total registered voters and about 1,600 more votes than in 2022.
In the Republican race for Lubbock County Commissioner Precinct 1, Mike Dalby leads incumbent Terrence Kovar with 64% of the votes so far. Kovar was first elected in 2020. There is no Democrat running in this race.
KCBD News Channel 11's Shaylee Kidwell joins us live from downtown Lubbock, where Mike Dalby is celebrating his standing in the polls. Shaylee?
Yeah, Mike, I heard that you were doing a lot of door knocking leading up to this race. Tell me, how many doors did you knock on?
We think it was around 9,000. I know we went through close to 10,000 push cards, and I don't know how many hundreds of miles. It was, I don't know, close to 15 miles every full day that we walked. So, that was one thing that we set out to do from day one, is to set a precedence on how we run this campaign. And there is no substitute for hard work. And so that's what we did, and we delivered, and I'm just very, very excited.
I know earlier this evening a lot of your supporters here were celebrating as those numbers were rolling in, and you were a little bit hesitant, but how do you feel now at 10 o'clock this evening?
I said it once, I'll say it again. If these numbers hold, I'm confident, but I want to see 100% up there with the check mark. That's when I will let my guard down. Again, day one, foot on the accelerator. We're not going to stop. We're not going to slow down. And at 10 o'clock on Super Tuesday, we're going to do the same thing. So waiting for that 100%. I think they're close. I've just received a phone call. They're getting close, so we should have some final numbers pretty quick.
Thank you so much for your time. Karen and Abner, back to you.
Thank you, Shaylee.
We also spoke to the incumbent Commissioner Terrence Kovar this evening. He says he is disappointed in the numbers after everything he says he has done for the county.
Because of all this hard work, and I kept my promise of holding the tax rate steady from the last time I ran and was able to accomplish all of this. I was kind of disappointed in the numbers, which is fine. The voters voted to lower taxes with the new person coming in. And so I have one more budget. We will go ahead and we will lower taxes on this next budget.
If Kovar loses the primary, he will still continue to serve as commissioner until January of 25.
In the Republican race for Precinct 3 on the Commissioner's Court, Kerry Shaw leads Mary Hernandez with 57% of the vote. He is projected to challenge incumbent Gilbert Flores, who is unopposed on the Democratic ballot in November.
KCBD News Channel 11's Parker Schaffner joins us now from North Lubbock County with Shaw's view of this race as the projected winner tonight. Parker?
Karen and Abner, we're just across the street from where Kerry Shaw's watch party was held. He is currently leading this race. Mr. Shaw, how do you feel right now?
I feel great, and I want to give a shout out to Me Taco Village, family-owned restaurant, good food and good atmosphere, but it's wonderful to see the support I've got.
What called you to run for this office?
You know, God put it on my heart several years ago that I was the one to bring Precinct 3 back up to standards that the other three precincts are. I'm the fighter. I'm the one that will fight for everything that they need. And so that's the reason. It's just been on my heart that I'm the one to serve the people of Precinct 3.
What's your message to voters heading into the general election?
If you want change in Precinct 3, if you want us to be brought back up, somebody that will fight for Precinct 3 and get us back up where the other three precincts are, then you need to vote for me. We need to change the leadership. Gilbert Flores has been there for 24 years and does nothing. He's the reason we've been left behind, and I will be the burr in the saddle to get things done.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw.
Thank you.
And the winner of this race will face Gilbert Flores in the general election on November 5th. He has represented Northeast Lubbock County on and off for the past 24 years. Karen and Abner, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Parker. The race for Lubbock County Constable for Precinct 4 is a very close race. Incumbent Joe Pinson is currently losing to Michael Hobson, who leads with 51% of the vote in the Republican race. That's just 30 votes separating them right now. The winner will not face a Democrat challenge in November.
In the race for Texas House District 83, incumbent Dustin Burrows is predicted to win re-election. He leads challenger Wade Cowan with 69% of the votes so far. With no Democratic challenger, it is expected Representative Burrows will keep his seat in the Texas House.
KCBD News Channel 11 Sydney Lowther joins us now from 82nd and Slide with a reaction from Representative Burrows. Sydney?
That's right, Karen and Abner. I'm here with Dustin Burrows, who right now is in the lead for Texas House Representative District 83. Dustin, how are you feeling right now?
We're very excited. We spent all day at the polls. We've been talking to people, and obviously the early voting results are showing that Lubbock County is very appreciative of the work that we've been doing.
Absolutely. And, you know, after the results come in tonight and the next few days, if you win, what are your top priorities for your next term?
Look, we're going to continue to work with Governor Abbott on securing the southern border. So important. Number one thing I hear about, property taxes. We need to continue to buy those down and make people able to afford them even better than that. And then rural health care. I mean, there's a lot of people in rural Texas having a hard time with quality of life issues. The Health Science Center right here in Lubbock, Texas is such a great opportunity to expand what we're doing in rural health care, and I look forward to working and partnering with them this next legislative session to expand those type of projects.
Absolutely. And, you know, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton endorsed your opponent, Wade Cowan. Do you think that affected this race at all?
Well, obviously not. I mean, Greg Abbott endorsed our campaign, as did Senator Ted Cruz, as did Congressman Jody Arrington, as did Senator Charles Perry, the NRA, Farm Bureau, and a host of other people that obviously make much more of a difference.
Absolutely. There is no Democratic challenger for tonight's race to face off in November. With that, I'll send it back to you in the studio. Karen Abner.
Thank you, Sydney. In the race for District 88 of the Texas House, it looks like incumbent Ken King from Canadian has also secured the vote tonight. He is leading the polls with 75% of the vote over challenger Karen Post. King is expected to keep his position in the state legislature as there is no Democratic challenger.
The race for the U.S. House District 19 has been decided. The Associated Press called the race for incumbent Jody Arrington. He led his opponents by a wide margin, earning 84% to Chance Ferguson, Vance Boyd, and Ryan Zink's single-digit percentages. Representative Arrington will not face a Democratic challenger in November.
Arrington reacted to his win tonight, saying he is honored and humbled by the support of West Texas. He says he believes he has fought for the principles of West Texans, has followed through on promises, and delivered results for them. He says he will continue that in his next term.
And tonight, Ted Cruz is projected to win the Republican primary for the United States Senate. With 88% of the vote, he will advance to November to face his Democratic challenger. His two GOP challengers only received 6% and 5% of Republican support. Cruz was first elected to the Senate from Texas in 2013.
It looks like that Democratic challenger will be Colin Allred, who currently represents the Metroplex in the House of Representatives. He has more than 60% of support from Democratic voters in tonight's primary race for Senate. State Senator Roland Gutierrez is the closest candidate with 17% of the vote.
The results are also coming in for the presidential race. President Biden and former President Trump are both well on their way to sweeping the states tonight, but former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley is vowing to stay in the race.